Oh, they sad. Just assumed. Hello. Apologies for anyone that tried to get on the stream earlier. We're blaming Nick.
It's not my fault.
That went really well. Clearly our internet is not up to live streaming in my house. So we've scrapped that idea and we're just going to record it instead.
And we'll whack it up on YouTube, which hopefully is where you're watching right now.
Yeah, and use this as a practice run.
Yes.
Bit of the background of it. The idea is we are practicing because the Northern Kings, believe it or not, are going to be streaming at the UK Masters.
Where there is good internet connection.
There is good internet connection. We promise it's better than this. This is why we're practicing now. We're already a bit behind time, so the idea was we were going to do 15 minutes beforehand of going through the lists, talking about the scenario, but instead the guys are just going to get going and we're going to talk over the top of them as they deploy. But hopefully Nick has got a screen that's going to show us the brand new shiny scenario from Clash of Kings.
Yes.
2019. I don't know if you're going to read it out loud, Nick.
So, I'm going to go over the scenario briefly rather than reading it point by point. So this is an interesting one. You place 3 objective markers in your opponent's half, 6 inches from the centre line. Now, if you control those objective markers at the end of your turn, starting from your second turn, you score a point and you take that objective marker off the board. So you can basically score up to 3 points from these objective markers that you put in your opponent's half. And once you've scored them, that's it. But also as a tiebreaker, there's another objective in the centre of the board. So I think it's going to be a really interesting dynamic scenario.
It's different, it's interesting, I like it.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably should have mentioned, so we've got Adam Padley versus Tom Robinson. Tom Robinson is obviously Clash of Kings 2018 champion. He's the current UK master and top of the rankings. And Adam Padley is a bit of a nobody in comparison, I think it's fair to say.
No one cares about him.
Yeah. Both from the Northern Kings, obviously, represented.
Which people do care about.
Yeah, naturally. Us being the 2 most attractive members didn't qualify for Masters because we wanted to stream for you instead.
Yes. Definitely the plan there.
It's not because the ranking system is broken.
No.
Possibly. Even though
Elliot starts getting out his maths.
So
should we have a look
we want to go see the board and see if they should be deploying by now.
They're probably just starting, but let's have a glance at the army list and then we'll catch up with them in a second. So if we look at Adam's army list first, he's gone for Varangur with some herd allies. There's nothing surprising about this army list, let's be fair. He's got the 2 fallen hordes of the mounted sons of Korgan. I think the only unique thing in this list really is that he's got his herd allies, which he's been using for quite a while, just a few chaff units, which Varangur obviously struggle with.
If anyone hasn't seen this herd ally detachment, it's fantastic. It's the most point efficient point of allies I've ever seen. It's really
I thought you were going to say they're the best painted models on the planet, and they're my models.
No, not that one. No, if you actually look at what he's got in there for his points, it's unbelievable. I think it's cut off on mine there, but you can see it. He fits in a really small amount of points. It caps everything that Varangur struggle with, and it's an absolute pain in the arse to play against, I must say. I like allies as an idea in general, really, but this one just seems purpose-built for Varangur as a bolt-on. And whenever I see Varangur without this, I just think, well, that's nice, but you could have done this. You could have had herd, and you could have had that. And every time we played around with lists, it's like, that's nice, but you could have a Centaur Chief, and you could have this. It's just perfect for them.
It is really good. It just covers a lot of the Varangur's weaknesses, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's ideal.
We'll go on to Tom's list briefly as well.
So this is Tom's fluffy version of his list.
Yeah, it's fluffy version. It is an elf army. It's got the bow horde. It's got a sea guard horde. He has got 2 forest shamblers regiments, which is a little
and the Green Lady, which is the weirdly fluffy.
Yeah, the Green Lady as well. This one is not used as much as I think it should be.
No, the Green Lady doesn't suffer. She's wonderful, but she's not bane chancing.
She's not,
and that's kind of the problem. Is that you look at Tom's other list that he won Clash of Kings with, and he's won everything with. He doesn't need the heal because by the time he gets to you, it's dead.
Yeah,
and that's not an exaggeration that Tom plays it so well that if you're fighting in combat with him, it's because he chose to be in combat with you.
Mm-hmm.
So the heal's a nice idea, but actually better to have the Enchant 3 from the Black Iron Crown, which means it's basically auto-deleting whatever he's shooting at.
Yeah, but the Green Lady in general, I think, is really good regardless, because of the Defence 6 and the Fly and the regeneration.
She's an unexpected roadblock.
Yeah.
That a lot of people, see the heel and see what she does and then get really surprised when she puts herself in front of you and just stops you dead.
Yeah.
And then she's still an individual, so she just turns around and walks off because she can't fly.
So she can still run away the next turn 20 inches.
Yeah. And she's got Pathfinder.
So she can
get away from everything, because she's really a force of nature that's just pretending to be an elf.
Yes.
A proper unit. A proper army.
Shall we switch over to the game then and see how they're getting on?
They've probably already started.
Looks like they're just discussing things. So if you look, you can see that there are some white counters, which we can't actually highlight now, but I guess I'd be able to highlight in post.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's one benefit. Can see Tom's pointy hand there. What
you also obviously can't do now, but will be able to do during our live cast, is the channel chat, which will be a nice way actually. So during the Masters, we'll be casting live, and you'll actually be able to chat along with us, ask us questions, and point out when we make glaring mistakes.
Yep.
Which will be helpful.
I can already spot one right now, so I'm just going to correct that. I had the wrong turn on there, so if I just... like that. And now it's on deployment.
That's not. It is.
Yeah, it is. You can start, guys! I don't know if they heard.
I'm going to tell them. As you might not be able to tell, our incredibly high-tech studio is my living room today. So. You can start, by the way. I've just seen you up.
Do you know what's really good? Your wireless can't even keep up with the video feed from that.
Great.
I know there was a delay, but...
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Right, well, Adam's been for his pre-game week.
Cool, so always important. So that's Adam on the bottom of the screen, and it's Tom on the top of the screen. Adam's just placed his individual. Which one would that be?
Centaur Chief.
Centaur Chief.
It's the usual first drop, because Centaur Chief is brilliant because it's cheap. It's 115 points. You can literally put it anywhere and not care. Compared to the rest of his list, it can do something wherever he is. I always bring Woman Nature. They're just such a versatile unit, because it's crushing 2, thunderous 1, so you can't ignore it. Or crushing 2, thunderous 2. So you can't ignore it. It's got enough attacks that it can chip away at you. It's got a bow. It's always doing something, but it's a free drop, effectively. Mm-hmm. Which he sorely needs in this list, because it's quite a small list. And everything else is really expensive. So the herd just bring those wonderful things where you can just, like he's doing here, really, putting drops down all of his cheap chaff.
Yeah.
Because it's fast and it can be whatever it needs to be.
Yeah. And the other really, really good thing about him being a fast individual like that is that he can redeploy.
Yeah, exactly.
In the first turn if needs be. You can see that Tom's gone for a split on his forest shamblers. So if you look, the objective markers that are on Tom's side of the board that Adam's placed down, those are on the very, very far edges of the board, and it looks like that what Tom's doing is he's put his forest shamblers there against these two objective markers, so that with his vanguard move he can get right on top of those and deny them to Adam right from the outside.
Yeah. What Tom's just put down there, believe it or not, is his chariot, which isn't a chariot model. But obviously, Tom went and wrote a new list with a model he'd not painted yet, just for the stream.
Yep.
I can't see. I think has somebody put down the Green Lady?
I'm assuming that's the winged thing. Because
the Green Lady, in the same way as the Centaur, is effectively it's always Tom's first drop because it's free. She's got a 20-inch move, which has effectively got a 32-inch bubble where she can heal and fly. So as Tom always says when he puts it down, who the hell cares?
32-inch.
No, 20-inch move, 12-inch.
She can't move at the double.
Oh well, she's got a big bubble.
She's got a big bubble. Yes,
she can be wherever she wants to be.
22 inches.
22 inches. As Tom always says when he puts her down, who the hell cares?
Yeah,
and tends just to throw her anywhere because literally she's got the board of where he wants to be, so it's a free drop.
Yep, I believe Adam's just put down Mage's Conclaves today. Oh no, those are his Mage's Conclaves there. Sorry, so how would you be approaching this as in Adam's shoes?
It's a tricky one for Adam, this, because it forces him to split up. Tom's vanguard and units are a real pain for him. Adam likes playing as one block because his army is very, very powerful, but there's not a lot of it. And it can suffer from Tom's list that he's shooting. All he's got to do is take off one fallen horde, and you've lost a big chunk of your...
It's almost a third of your hitting power, effectively.
It's a real issue, and those fallen, they do fall fairly fast. And also with the complete lack of heal in the Varangur list, you've only got to do 5 or 6 points of damage, and then they really can't, face up to much in combat. They'll still do a lot of damage, but on the counter charge they'll probably die. Realistically, I think Adam's got to take out a flank very quickly.
Yeah.
I would just ignore the fact that Tom's split his forest shamblers off.
Absolutely.
You're not going to win that game. You've just got to pick one flank and completely overwhelm it. And then effectively mop up once you're behind.
Yeah. But one thing that surprised me is that Adam's actually split up his objective markers. So there's 2 on the left flank, but 1 right out on the far right there. I'm not sure I would have done that in his shoes personally.
No, whether he's thinking of forcing the shamblers.
Yeah.
To have to split.
It could have also been in response to Tom's deployment, because if Tom put the 2 that are on the right here down, then Adam would be thinking, actually, I can't just hand those over to Tom.
No, definitely.
So I'm going to put 1 on that flank as well, so that I've got something to go for on that flank.
It's the first time they've played the scenario.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one to watch. There we are. Two shooting hordes right in the middle of the board.
Yep. One on
a
the hill.
And one in some
One in a forest.
That's the strength of this list, isn't it? It's right, here we are, I now control this.
Yes.
And you can't ignore it because it'll get you.
Mm-hmm.
What'll be interesting is what flank he puts his Dracons on. He's got that building, which is a lovely tool for flyers to hide behind. I don't see enough people using that. That people with flyers always seem to want to have this big open space. But actually you've got that lovely building there where you can turn and put your flank to it. And all of a sudden no one can touch you because they can't charge your flank, and you've got a whole board where you're looking at. And even if you don't charge anything the next turn or the turn after, it forces your opponent to play differently.
Yeah.
Which, when you've got 2 archer hordes, or an archer horde and a sea guard horde looking at you, you're knackered.
Yeah, because if you look on Adam's left flank, it's all open there. If he goes up that flank, which I presume is what he's going to do, given that there's the 2 objectives on that flank, the archers have got clear shots to him. But yeah, if Tom puts his Dracons on Adam's right flank, I think Adam's going to really struggle to break through on that one. I do kind of think this might be an uphill battle for Adam, even with it being
until the Mage's Conclaves hit with everything and take a unit off in one go.
Yeah. Has that happened by any chance?
I found that's Adam's tactical decision making quite a lot of the time. Is just have the Major Conclaves hit 4 times and then just take something off in one go.
It's really annoying when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone who'd run 2 Major Conclaves.
Yeah, I wonder where Adam got the idea from.
Yeah. It does kind of look like Adam is setting up on the left flank. He's got his got a horde there, and I presume that's the is it Hunters?
The Hunters, yeah, I think.
Hunters in the centre,
which are a lovely unit with the bows. They're really underestimated, and they're 105 points, I think. So they're just they're unit strength. They're brilliant. Unit strength. They just add in stuff that Varangur don't have. They're unit strength that can do something all game.
Yeah. And they've got Vanguard.
They've got Vanguard, yeah. They've got Vanguard and bows. They're only range 5, but when they've got,
that's still useful just for pinging chaff off.
Especially in combination with the Major Conclaves, because Major Conclaves will often do 3 or 4 points of damage, which is okay on an average roll. But then actually you just ping them all game then with the Hunters.
Yeah.
And you've only got to do that 1 or 2 each time, and all of a sudden these nerve rolls start getting a bit bum clenchy.
And there goes the other horde. Yep, setting up on the flank.
Yeah.
Is he trying to get 30 inches away from the Archer horde?
I think so.
I think perhaps I would have tried to weather that a bit and kept myself a bit further forward, because at the end of the day, if even if he gets second turn, he's still got to get in there at some point.
One thing you've got to be careful against with Tom as well, I think if anybody watched the last game of Clash of Kings, is how quickly he repositions everything.
Yeah.
It was actually, you watch the deployment and they think, oh, he's okay, and then Tom got first turn, and then it was, oh my god, what's happened?
Yeah.
And he just moved his entire army up and encircled, and think, oh. So people play back against these shooting lists thinking, I don't want to get hit, and Tom just pounces on that every time.
Yeah.
You've really got to be aggressive with it. That you're going to get shot regardless. So get up there. Don't let him do this thing where his dragons are here and his dragons there, and I can't put myself here now. And it's a real strength of Tom's that he plays against how you deploy. It's a pain in the ass. I can't see there either where his dragon breaths are, because they're a hidden gem, I think, in the elf list.
Definitely, there are a lot of attacks. Aren't there? Something like 18 attacks. What is it? 15?
15 with elite.
Yeah, 15 with elite. So it's not far off 8. Yeah. Not far off 18 is that.
And again, he'll only put it in a position where if you charge it, it's got either a horde or a dracons or a dragon looking at it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't mind losing it. What is it? It's 90 points.
That's chaff, is that?
It is chaff, but it's a lot of shots.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of...
It's effective range 18, so it's a decent chunk. Right. Well, we have the armies down. It's fairly predictable, I think. Adam has split his forces up, though. He's got his Chimera and Fallen Sons on the right-hand flank there.
Mounted Sons.
So Mounted Sons in there.
Fallen Sons.
Mounted
Very
Sons.
confusing when you get Fallen there.
Fallen Sons. Mounted Sons on the right-hand flank. Yeah. Be interesting to see if you can knock out that Forest Shambler regiment early. Ooh, we're on to Vanguard. So let me just update this.
It's witchcrafters.
It's not wanting to update.
It's bad witchcraft.
It's bad witchcraft. I need a bit of post-editing that.
Yeah.
I might leave that if we're recording. So positioning is his Forest Shamblers just behind the tokens. I don't know if I would have perhaps sat right on them, or is he hoping that?
Well, he's holding them, isn't he? Because it's 3 inches.
Yeah.
Looking what he's got coming his way, you've got 2 unit strength in both of those. You're contesting, really, aren't you, from anything that can come that way. And just holding back a bit gives you more options, especially around the building. And there's a wall there as well.
Yep. So Tom's on first turn, putting his Archer Horde on top of the hill as expected. Yeah. They're going to have a really good sight over the battlefield from there. So it's a tough one for Adam. He's got to weather it on the approach.
It's interesting, actually, talking about first turn, that, I mean, I don't know Nick, but me, Adam and Tom always used to say going second was best. And for probably the first year of playing, all we ever did was give up first turn every single time, thinking, I can grab that scenario at the end. And all 3 of us are completely switched around now to, if you get the roll, almost always taking first turn, just because of what I was saying with Tom, that if you can push it so you force your opponent to play differently.
Yeah.
It's really, really powerful.
Absolutely.
So
being able to swing that big flyer down the flank.
Yeah, it's
and
huge.
That's the pressure, isn't it?
You know, so there might be those odd times where, yes, on the last turn scenario, you've got the free reign and you can do what you choose. But actually, putting that pressure on from turn one is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you are going to, say, lose some shots, because you've got to, or worse shots because you've got to move into range. Interestingly, obviously, the Hunters vanguarded up to put themselves in range, and a 9 range themselves. Now, it's probably not the best shot.
Well, Tom still had to move his guys forward.
Well, the Sea Guard have got nimble.
True, so they're not going to be suffering the penalty.
They are in cover, but it's,
Yeah.
They could, in theory, delete that in one go. And actually, it wouldn't be a bad shot because then all of a sudden you take off something that could threaten that middle objective late game.
And I kind of think in terms of threats, that's probably one of them.
Yeah. And you can see here now what you were saying, because he's fallen further back, this dragon's got a lot more free reign.
Yeah.
You know, if the fallen had been closer up now, they maybe could have stopped that.
Always thinking whether the dragon's safe there. I think it is, isn't it?
But that's what it'd be. That's pressure on straight away, is that? That's just,
yeah.
And all of a sudden now that's completely changed how you deal with that right flank for Adam. Because you can't move up now. You move up to try and face off against those Drakons, and Drakons alone maybe you could deal with, but Drakons and Dragon you definitely can't.
Yeah.
And now he's just going to breathe on them with his special elite fire.
Yes, boots of levitation. So yeah, those guys are in for a world of hurt right now, aren't they?
They definitely are.
Oh my. Yeah, that's his fast dragon, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hate that thing. That one's the 18 breath. Oh no, it's 15 as well.
15 elite.
But still elite.
Because somehow the fire is elite.
Yeah. And dragons have to have 15 breath, not,
yeah,
something more reasonable like 10.
Well, they tried, and people got upset in playtesting.
People got upset at a lot of things in playtesting.
Rabble. Oh, look at that. He's using Adam's own measuring sticks against him.
Yep. So Adam now comes...
This is the world's most anal player with his measuring sticks.
He now comes equipped with, 10 different measuring sticks he's got?
Every measurement that his army could possibly use, he has a measuring stick
and
for.
every measurement that you could use. He has a measuring stick for it, which is useful at times, but then there's times like, oh, where did I put my 8-inch measuring stick?
If only you had a measuring stick that could be wound out and retracted again.
Yes. At any distance. Does the chariot have some bows? It must have some bow shots.
Yeah, it's 4 bow shots.
Mm-hmm.
Again, elite. It's range 4 plus as well. It's now nimble, of course, with the Clash of Kings changes. It's a lovely little platform for again. Well, it was inspiring on this one, so it was 110.
Mm-hmm. He's pinged a point of damage off one of those troops. Mm-hmm. I don't know which troop that is. Sorry.
The dogs, I think, is that one.
Cool.
Yeah, it's the dogs. What are they called? Give them the proper name. I can't because it's cut off my print out. The herd dogs.
The herd dogs.
Yeah, the 9/11 beast packs.
Yep, beast pack.
Beast packs that always seem to do point of damage when they need to.
Mm-hmm. And just
because they're vicious. Everyone else forgets they've got vicious.
So, a couple of points of damage on regiment in the centre. Presumably the dragon next. Mm-hmm. Maybe not. That looks like a horde's worth of dice, that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of elite. For only one more hit. Oh, that was not a good roll.
No. Ooh. Well, this is in cover. This could be the 6s.
Yeah.
That could be the Sea Guard firing to cover.
Oh, he was going on the individual. On the chief. Centaur chief. That's interesting.
Well, I suppose the Centaur chief is the only thing at the minute who's upsetting that dragon.
True.
Because the Centaur chief, if he goes in, he will do a point of damage. It's 3s and 2s.
Yeah.
So it's 3s and yeah. So it's,
will ground the dragon, but even if he loses the Centaur chief in return,
Oh, you do it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Centaur chief is brilliant for that. It's so cheap that you can.
All the rerolls.
So just so you know, we have a house rule here that if it's not flat on the table, it's cocked. And apparently Tom can't roll dice. So he's not just re-rolling till he gets the result he wants. We just say if it's not flat on the mat, just for simplicity's sake, it's cocked.
Adam's trying to figure something out that that Tom perhaps missed. But if that's a building, then he surely he can't see.
I think it's an individual error, is that what it is?
Yeah. Is it scald, is it? Presumably. It's only going to be one attack, isn't it? But I suppose it does...
the laser shows it well on the end, didn't it?
That was surprising.
Yeah.
Didn't go for it in the end.
No.
Moved him out the way. So I'm a little surprised that Tom wasn't a bit more aggressive with the Drakens. Like you said, if he'd have moved on that right-hand flank, I mean, I think Adam would have really struggled to break through, because surely he would have been able to angle the Drakens in such a way that their flank was blocked by the building.
It would. I suppose at the moment, though, everything's still in Tom's court. He's nothing to lose, really. But if he goes up, there's a chance that the Chimera can hide behind the building and jump over the top of him.
That's true.
And all of a sudden, actually, then you've got a Chimera behind you.
Yeah.
Whereas at the minute, those Drakons actually can sit there all game doing nothing, and Adam has to move because he isn't going to outshoot Tom.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if it was me, I'd have done that and then regretted it and sat there and been miserable.
But then again, Tom's got two objectives on that side to grab. So he does need to make a move on that flank at some point.
I can see Tom at least, 2 if not 3 turns really of what can I pepper off, and then he'll jump.
But then that might not be suitable for this scenario if Adam's able to grab all the objectives.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. So that means that's his Pathfinder one that's just flown up into the terrain.
Yep.
Interesting though, because he started further back, I don't now think he's in range of the Archer Horde. I think if he'd have started right on the line, he could potentially have moved himself up and threatened that whole hill.
Yeah.
Whereas now he's going to have another turn of getting shot.
Which again is why I perhaps would have weathered the one turn of shooting, because they're archers as well. That means that they're going to be hitting on 5s instead of 4s. Even with piercing, it's not. Yeah, it's damage, but it's not the worst thing ever.
No, and there's no. I don't think there's any bench chant at all, is there? So there's no bench chant 2 now. For piercing 2. Sorry. That was one of the real strengths of Tom's other list, was the Black Iron Crown.
Mm-hmm.
That it could, the bench chant 3 with Elite was.
Oh.
That's
interesting.
It's chaff dogs.
Yep.
I mean, they're hindered. There's a wall there.
Yeah, but they should.
But they've only got to do a point where they're already on 5s, I think. I can't see.
Are they on 6 attacks? Are they?
True. Well, no, they've got 6 attacks. They're on 5s now. With the vicious though.
That's still dicey. Is that? Unless the Centaur Chiefs wavered,
It's dicey, but you've now got 2 Fallen Halls looking at you.
Yeah. So if he attacks the. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it might be wavered actually, because he just backed him up now behind the hunters.
Yeah, it must have been wavered. I would guess perhaps that what Adam's also thinking is that if Tom is sending his dragon into the centre, not too fussed about that, because that gives Adam a lot of the board control on the left. He suddenly has the range to hit when he wants. Yes, he's got the shooting on that flank. But those Fallen obviously outpace the Forest Shamblers. There's only the...
Definitely, to be honest, all he's got to do is take that, the Forest Shamblers out and turn around, and you've got a real problem.
Mm-hmm. And I bet you can do some very tasty things with the mounted suns on the right hand flank to at least discourage the dragon from jumping over the top as well.
Can I just say as a hint, you can always tell how nervous Tom is by how much he plays with his dice.
That your top tip for facing Tom, is it?
The closer a game gets, the more he'll play with his dice. You're going to watch this all game now, aren't you?
Yeah.
If he's juggling with him, you've really got him. I can get Adam's full list up. I've got a cut-off version here. Yeah, so the Scald's got the Bane Chant, which is a very good item on him, to be honest. Fallen,
especially if he's backing up Fallen.
Yeah, they Fallen need to kill what they hit.
Yeah,
because otherwise they're really struggling. Yeah, it's a standard list. Yeah, interesting for the nimble on the horseman. The third nimble unit. A lot of people go for the Pathfinder item on them, but I really like nimble on them.
Yeah. Makes such a big difference, doesn't it?
And you've got the crushing. You almost don't mind so much about being hindered. My thinking is if you get an extra charge off, statistically you're doing better than you would if you got an unhindered charge off.
Yeah.
Across the whole game, you're still better off. I know it's an expensive unit. I think it comes in at exactly 300 points. Does all that.
But they kill anything that they touch, really, don't they?
They do, but they're not like the Soul Reaver Cav, who defend 6 with a lot of heal and life leech behind them. They're certainly not glass cannons, but they're still only 16-18 defense 5. They're similar sort of stats to a lot of like Kingdom of Men knights, who are half their points, and it just takes one good volley, and all of a sudden you're taking off. But they really, really hurt when they get into you.
Yeah. With nimble, they come the chances for a corkscrew.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and even little things like running down the flank and turning.
Yeah,
he's not used enough in my opinion. That people just blast down and do a right turn.
Yeah, again, that comes into the getting turn 1 for the board control, isn't it? Just being, if you have nimble heavy cavalry, if you can get down that flank and turn, your opponent's panicking at that point.
Yeah. Even the nimble for doing the 2 pivots when you're going slowly, just that little bit of extra repositioning is really powerful. When you've got 3 overlapping units, if you're 2 Fallen Horde and your Mounted Suns, that little extra bit just means you can just cover every angle. I like that loads points.
I'm not sure what they're shooting. Are you thirsty?
Yeah. So, apparently, update was, guess what's just hit with everything?
Conclaves!
Yeah, told you.
What did he hit?
I don't know.
That's kind of an important thing.
So yes, I've asked them from now on to point.
Yes. I think that went on the Dragons because they've got a red dice next to them.
Yeah, it will be. So yes, apparently the Conclaves hit 4 times in cover against the Dracons. The Dracons are the absolute perfect target for those. Yeah. You shoot them all game. Especially now he's charged the Dragon, because they can't shoot that. But they're just... I mean, this is where the Green Lady will shine, actually, to keep those Dracons alive. We say there's not much use for the healing, but actually in this situation, keeping those Dracons going would be a massive use for her.
Because in Tom's other list, if he'd taken that damage on those Dracons, that's it. That stayed on there the whole game.
I mean, the Elf Mage comes with healer standard, which is lovely.
But it's not heal 8.
No, it's not, but it is useful for taking them out of danger zone.
Yeah. Right, so we are on to Tom turn 2. So it's an interesting situation. Has that? So the dragon wasn't disordered. I thought that'd been taken off there for a second. We flicked away from the screen for a second and came back, and the dragon was gone.
So has it charged a conclave, or is that what it's done?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the Centaur Chief is there behind. So he's got another opportunity to go swing at it. Yeah.
It's not a great situation to be in, though. Really.
No, it's not. Especially now that he's now brought both fallen her up.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's more the right-hand flank I'd be worried about because.
Well, that's what I mean. But he's brought both fallen. What he potentially could have done is brought one fallen horde up, and turned his other fallen to look at the centre, stopping him doing exactly that. I mean, obviously, you're then having a fallen horde doing nothing again for a turn. But
I would have perhaps done that with the Mounted Sons of Korgan.
Yeah. I'm not sure where 20 inches falls for those Dracons, but they'll have room, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
There we are. That stops the... Oh, who's that?
That'd be the Forest Warden, I believe.
I like Forest Wardens.
Yeah.
Diadem.
Cheap and cheerful. Get up the board early, roadblocks.
The lovely... I remember nature quite a lot. I gave it the boomstick in the end, just so it was doing something all game. I originally had it with a diadem, which was great, but then actually with the boomstick, you sit it on an objective or sit it in the middle of nowhere with the just shooting all game long. And it's that really annoying to that, well, what do? Do I commit something to go take out that one guy doing nothing who could potentially waver or break one of my units, or do I just ignore it?
Yeah.
It's lovely for things like Invade, where it's another unit strength. Just
absolutely.
Moonwalking across the board.
I find that they're just so useful in the early game for blocking routes of advance.
Yeah.
If Adam was obviously going to go up on the right hand flank, if that Forest Warden had sat in between the building and the right hand side of the board, that's a massive roadblock that Adam's got to get through. At the very least, it's a turn that's delaying.
It is. I mean, I suppose the only downside of them is there are only 3 attacks at melee 4.
So they're not doing much.
They're not consistently going to disorder things like that, or do any kind of damage to break a unit. They don't need to, really. As you say, they're just getting in the way. Also nice because they're nimble, but they're not individuals. So you can get them up to, double and triple attacks.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Tom's just sorting out some pincers at the moment. Putting Adam between a rock and a hard place. So they moved the Forest Shambles on the left-hand side.
I think he just shuffled out of range, yeah.
Yeah.
He had a look to see if he could shuffle out of arc and couldn't. So I'm guessing he's taking out of range. He does, he's very good at that.
Could almost be a bit annoying, that. So we've got the archers shooting at the regiment in the centre there. That was a big point, I believe. Oh, no. Nope, shooting at the dogs.
Chaff. Who are now sat out in the open.
Yep. And they'd taken a point of damage already, hadn't they? A few points of damage.
All the ones.
All the ones. You can see the delay in the picture of us.
Yeah.
Did you do any damage there?
I think he did a bit. Didn't seem to draw many though. They are on defense 3, so you would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the 6s on these with the start dice.
Didn't get any 1s that time.
Yeah, this is 2s here now, so there should be,
yeah,
quite a few
plenty.
more.
Oh, they went on the individual. What is that then? I don't think that's the Scald, is it?
Go find it. Right, I was the Centaur Chief.
Okay, so we've got the Centaur Chief, which is now dead.
Yeah. So the Centaur Chief is on the left. Mm-hmm. Next to the dogs. It's a Magus hiding behind the...
Oh, right, yes.
Behind the hunters.
That makes more sense now. So Adam did pull off that charge that Tom didn't quite see. Good at spotting those ones, isn't he?
He is. But he's dead anyway.
Yeah.
Took 9 damage from both hordes.
So between the Centaur Chief and the dogs, they didn't manage to ground him.
Apparently,
Dragon. Ooh. That's a bit unlucky.
Yeah.
Now we're over to Adam turn 2. I'm just going to do that in post now.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
I mean, interesting. I totally get why you go for the Centaur Chief, because he can, stop you shooting completely. But you've still got all your big hitters undamaged at the minute. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what the dragon did to the Major Conclave. I'm guessing he killed it.
I think it's facing the other way now.
Yeah, so he killed it,
yeah. There's Adam with his sticks.
So is that, Tom's had 2 turns of shooting and has so far killed the Centaur Chief from the look of it.
He's pinged damage on a few other units, but I still don't like being in Adam's position.
He's not really gained anything.
No.
So Tom's not lost a lot, but Adam hasn't gained
Tom's
much.
Not lost anything.
Sorry, Tom hasn't killed much, but but Adam really hasn't gained much from it either. So we're saying, Klaus, from this turn, you could potentially score on the scenario.
Yeah.
Whether
it's worth it.
I don't think you're going to go for a long bomb, run in and just try and score for the sake of it.
No. That laser really shows up.
Isn't it? I like it. And that's Adam's industrial work laser, isn't it? What would you do then as Adam?
Panic.
The dragon's a problem.
Yeah.
Quite simply.
Yeah, that right flank. I've no idea what I would be doing.
I mean, I think he's looking there to see if his Chimera can charge.
Try and do something.
That, again, can I just say, is a trick that I don't see enough people using, is using a spare base.
Yeah.
Especially for your flyers and your 50 mils. It's the easiest way of doing it. It's the fairest way of doing it to your opponent, because you're not then playing around and moving stuff and going back to the wrong place. But it makes your life so much easier. And I don't know about I often can't see every combination, so having a spare 50 mil base is just so easy just to place it places.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially when you've got quite a few flyers on the board.
I've seen people who bring doubles of their entire army of spare bases.
Which I think is a great idea.
Well, you think it's a great idea, but I kind of think that sometimes you get too lost in trying out all the various combinations. And
I wouldn't do it for my big hordes, but no. I think for having at least a 50 mil, anything that's nimble, I think is a good thing to have, because you get so many people that just go, that'll fit, and you go, does it fit? Are you sure? So I think the nimble units are really useful for that.
Definitely.
Anything that surges, it's a really helpful one. Just little things like that. Can I fit this in here? It helps both players.
Absolutely.
Because, it's good sportsmanship to show that I definitely can do it.
Yeah.
But I've played games where you make somebody take it back and they've jumped 5 inches the other direction in the end, and you just think, oh, come on. I don't know what I'll do with the Fallen on the left here, to be honest. I think I'd push straight up. If I was Adam, I'd just go out in the middle of the open.
Well, if he's got the dogs there.
He does have the dogs. So whether you try and block the chariot off or not, I'm not sure. I mean, the dogs
if it's got nimble, then you're not going to be able to do that.
No, but you say not. You can block it to a certain extent because it's got a horde on the other side of it as well.
True.
So corkscrews are good, but they're not infinite. But if the dogs are on the wall, that limits what they can do. They're effectively going to have to charge if they want to move 20 inches.
I would take that. Shut down the archer shooting, weather the attacks from the chariot.
Yeah.
And
but this is what
yourself.
he's doing. Yeah. So he's pushing up. He's forcing the point now. You know that he's realised he can't sit there forever.
No.
Unfortunately for him, of course, he's now taking his Pathfinder one out of cover. I don't think you can do that, Adam.
We're not seeing the angles right from up above though. But
Tom's looking at it. We can tell him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, from the angle of the camera, it's difficult to tell.
It is difficult to tell. I mean, it's sort of worth saying about for Masters as well is that we're going to be there to observe. We're certainly not going to be there to make any rules calls or do anything like that. If people want to come back and look at it, if the TOs want to, it's there for them. But we're not going to be getting involved. And I think it's also worth saying when we get towards Masters level that by the end of Game 5, people are going to be absolutely knackered, and people are going to make mistakes, and it's really easy to pick up on mistakes when you're watching at home. I've watched a few of my games back on stream, and you just cringe for stuff that you never meant to do at all. But when you watch it, you think, "Oh God!"
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
PC struggling to keep up a bit.
Oh dear.
We'll definitely have to have a proper discussion about technology and stuff. I reckon your PC might be faster than mine, so it might be worth recording on yours.
We'll invest in a Northern King's MacBook.
No, he won't.
I'm not sure the budget stretches to that, does it?
No, it does not.
Didn't stretch to cable ties. I don't think it's going to stretch to.
Didn't stretch to a second webcam, did it?
Got your phone.
Yeah, that's doing so well at the moment.
I can see us.
Yeah, with about 20-second delay.
Well, that's fine. Not been very dynamic, have
May as well stick a picture of us up there.
It's a tricky one with the dragon now.
Yeah.
You can't just ignore it, but do you just ignore it? I mean, one option you can do, he's got his centaurs there, so you could potentially block off the flank of your mounted suns with them.
Absolutely, and force the issue
use them as terrain and move your mounted suns up. Then you're putting a lot of pressure on then. You've got the wall there, so you can force it so the dragons do come in the hindered.
Mm-hmm. You can force it so that the dragon's safe as well. If you move the dragon on the inside of that building, and then the mounted sun's just a little bit ahead of that.
Yeah, so you can't fit.
So you can't fit against the dragon. Not only will the charge against the mounted suns be hindered, but the dragon's safe. So even if he charges the mounted suns, that dragon's got the flank on the horde in the centre.
And this is a situation where having a cavalry troop spare base would be useful.
Yeah.
Because you can literally place it and say, this is where I'm intending to move them. They're nimble, I know I can do it.
Yep.
I'm not going to get in my way to do it, and then shove them up and do it all that way. And it's just respectful to your opponent, and also it gets around the whole faff of, oh, you moved them there, you can't take it back, and you can't do this. So.
Absolutely.
Just realised we've got goblins versus Foss of the Abyss.
Oh, don't do that to me.
In case you've not realised, this isn't goblins versus Force of the Abyss.
Oh dear.
This is elves versus Varangur.
Oh dear.
This is why we test these things. It's fine. This is all a test.
It's all going to be sorted.
We've got the t-shirts.
Yeah, we got t-shirts. Overhead.
That's doing my idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost like either he can hear me, or great minds think alike. No, actually, he can't hear me. We did check that.
Yeah.
So he's doing exactly as we said here.
Well, not quite exactly.
Well,
it's not got the mounted suns as far over as I would have perhaps them.
But if it has, because if your cavalry, if your troop is even tiny bit further forward, the dragons will have to knock sideways into the...
True.
So unless he's doing what he does, exactly in there and made him flush.
As long as the dragons can't fit into... See, but the thing is that I'd be worried about getting a dragon into the flank of me king. Where is he going to send that king?
It looks like he might got it right. I think that'd be a mistake. I think you need to keep him with you. Man of Sons, I think those two together.
Even just for the inspiring coverage.
I know he is, yeah. So he's checking if there's an angle where he can get him in and no one can land.
But then the king, the dragon can do that.
That's not the end of the world, though, actually, them two just tussle. Because it takes him out of the fight. I know you lose that one eventually. In fact, I reckon it can get him there. Well, it's hindered at least, anyway. So I'd almost take that charge, I think, in the front, hindered from the dragon.
Yeah.
And just let them tussle, because while they're fighting, it'd be dicey. It's going to come down to the dice each way. They're both actually identical. They're elite. They've got the same number of attacks, but one's hindered the first time. One's got fury. It'll be really dicey there. But you can deal with dicey because you've not got a dragon flying around threatening everything else. And I don't think Tom would take that. Tom likes show things. He won't take dicey things like that. Tom likes show things that go wrong.
Isn't that dragon in the flank though?
Potentially.
From this angle.
I'm not sure. Unless he's managed to block it. Or Tom's sat on there rubbing his hands with glee.
I'm sure that dragon's in the flank.
We shall see.
If it is, that's a big mistake there. Yeah, if it's a front charge.
Yeah, well, he's measuring range. It could be out of range.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that a range? Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
So I'm guessing he's in the flank of the Mount of the Suns and not the rear. In which case that was all entirely moot. In fact, I'm guessing what that marker line is there is put down as the front arc.
Yeah.
Of the dragon.
But it doesn't matter what the front arc of the dragon is.
Yes, I'm guessing that's the edge of his arc, so he's in the flank, not the rear. And I don't think that's what their arc is, but I don't see why you do all that and then haven't checked that.
Well, he may well have not checked.
We'll find out.
We will find out.
It's like, again, I've done that where you think this is wonderful, and then you go, "Oh, piss."
Yeah.
As the dragon just flies into your ear and go, "Oh, that's gone."
That's something that I learned with one of my first Kings of War armies, that I mounted them on really tall, elaborate bases, which were great. But I found that when you were looking at them from behind, you just could not look at the angle. Yeah. And I got it wrong so many times.
Yeah. I've got to say, I think Adam's he's pulled the best out of what was potentially a bad situation here.
Yeah.
Interesting, he's been very conservative with his dogs. I would have thought he might have gone a bit. Them in.
I would have shut down the shooting with them.
I'm not really sure what his thinking is with it. Whether he wants the
unit strength.
I don't know, because he's not contesting an objective there, is he?
No.
This is his mages. So.
Honestly, I kind of think that that's a mistake not sending them in.
I can't see any reason why you wouldn't. To be honest.
Because you can shut down the shooting. And that's going to be a decent hit now as well, because that's elite hitting on force with piercing. That's a decent hit against.
I don't.
Fallen.
Get why you wouldn't. I mean, he's moved them off the wall. He shuffled them sideways.
But even hinders you.
Well, you don't care, do you? Because you're blocking line of sight.
Yeah.
You're both on the hill. You're both the same height.
Yeah, so it would.
So you can't see. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to do a point of damage.
Yeah. Interesting one.
I'll go ask him at some point. I'll wait till he's done it. Wait till his turns over and then I can say, "Why don't you do that?" And I'll go, "Bugger." So you've got the interesting situation here now where the forest shamblers aren't doing anything and are sort of facing the wrong way. And I totally, on the right hand side, I get why Tom did it. He moved them round as more of a deterrent, but they're now. It's going to take them a long time now to turn back around and run after that objective if they want it.
Yeah, they're not going to go after that objective, I don't think.
But actually, if they do, though, Adam's not going to have anything to chase them down with. Because after all this is said and done, he might have 1 or 2 units left. but Varangur struggle with that end of game, having units left to mop things up with.
It's true. Well, yeah, it's going to take Tom 2 turns to get there into it.
Not sure who's shooting. Is Hunters is shooting, is it? Something shooting at the Horde.
Yeah. And even if you want to put that point of damage, I'll still put the dogs in front. But then they were on the wall, so they wouldn't be able to move the double. So yeah, I'd have charged.
Yeah.
I'd perhaps kept shooting at the Drakens.
Yeah.
Do a few pings of damage on them, because if you can waver them...
Oh yeah, well, you're laughing at me.
I think that flank would fall if you could waver those Drakens. He's sending his Mage Conclaves after the Horde as well.
Oh, let's take another forest one. I think he lightning bolted the forest one with the mages.
Okay. So, we're now on to Tom's turn, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking.
He does that. He does that every time.
He does. And you always panic.
You
You always clench.
I know it's out of range because I checked, but it just...
You always clench, don't you? But then there's those times where you've measured your charge range and you forget to measure their charge range instead, and it's you've caught me there.
Interesting one here. I think he can put his chariot into either of the fallen hordes. It's whether he bothers.
But then if they're both in range of the Archer Horde, that's that Horde gone.
Yeah.
And that's his flank gone.
Well, I can see Tom not charging with the chariot, but putting it in such a way that effectively Nimble's only so good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that when you get things blocked in, you can prevent people doing it and getting two hordes in. You could even put the chariots in front of the horde completely, so you can't physically fit two hordes in.
Yeah.
Potentially. Because it's nimble.
It's a hell of a sacrifice, though.
It's 90 points.
And you still...
It's 90 points for another round of shooting.
No, but it wouldn't be another round of shooting because you'd be able to get one horde in.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, you don't actually gain a lot in the end.
I'd certainly try and eliminate one of the hordes. They're shambling.
Yeah. Number one UK player, everybody.
Yep.
That's how he does it. He just cheats. You heard it here first.
That's better, Tom.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's covering if Adam does charge the horde there. In fact, this could mess up.
Yeah. Small thing as well that's worth pointing out to players that maybe don't use them as much. You'll notice that there's 4 arcs on the table, which is a fantastic thing. You see so many players don't use arcs properly and then get surprised when something's in a flank or not in arc. You can pre-measure everything in Kings of War.
Yeah.
It should never come as a shot. There are always going to be times where you forget things. But I see players putting it and shove it in, you go, just check it, because I think it might be in your flank. And there are a couple of times where I've said, I think I'm in your flank there. And you go, oh yeah, shove it back, because you can see the intent. But actually, after a while, especially on the top tables, you just think, you really should just... It's so easy to have an arc. If you don't have one, fold a bit of paper.
Multiple arcs.
Yeah. You know, literally fold a bit of paper and it'll give you the arc to do it. It's... I think I've got 4, I think, in my box, and I'll have at least 2 out at all times, because you want to check everything. So, you know, overlapping.
That's the other thing. There'll be times where you want to check the arcs of multiple units, but there's also when you want to check your arc and their arc at the same time when you're positioning. Yeah. So not only just having the one arc and using it all the time, like I say, nothing should ever be a surprise in Kings of War. You should always be aware of what your opponent can do. Now, if they take that option, you'll be... Oh, okay, I didn't think that you'd take that option. Yeah. But you shouldn't be surprised that your opponent could actually do something. So Tom's sent his dragon off rather than trying to...
It's just checking that the Centaur Bray Hunters can't then get him.
Yeah.
Again, I love those Hunters. They're just... Everything in that little allied attachment is just so good for its points. Nothing that's overpowered, nothing in there that's but it's all cheap. It all
Yeah.
is just okay, but it's perfect for you don't mind if you lose all of it, and it will always do something. They've got Thunderous 1. They're wonderful.
Pathfinder as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Pathfinder.
Oh yeah.
Well, I use the Force of Nature ones. They're brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
It is funny when I play Adam and we put the board down and we might as well not put terrain down. Force of Nature versus Herd is great. We're all ignoring everything except that one wall. Interesting one now for Tom. He's now been put a little bit on the back foot here. I think from uncharacteristically of Tom, he held those dragons back, and now he's at a point where he's going to have to probably back up with them. Now
either run away or back up.
Yeah, I mean, if you look in here, he's seen it that he's got that whole back corner where nobody has arc on him. So actually, he's got a lot of room to play with.
But he jumps there. He's got the. Oh dear.
This is what you get for these lovely, beautiful models.
He jumps there. The Mage Conclave can shoot it, but with this scenario, he can score that point at the end of this turn. He can still jump there. Probably turn 90.
Well, I think he's going to jump to his back, to the back right corner here,
right?
Because then nobody can see him there, and he's back in balls in his court. Then next turn, he can choose to fly down, or he can just put pressure on everything.
Yeah. And with him being fly as well, presumably he's still got another pivot now. So he can face off towards the centre of the board.
Yeah.
Which I think would be a good shout. Because next turn, if he does decide to
go
for that.
Yeah. So now he's got pressure on all of that, and he can choose to just forget it and go for the objective.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be a bad use of them here, really. That single Magus as well is now getting a cover shot.
Mm-hmm.
Which Adam will obviously hit with both, but in theory, shouldn't hit.
Not sure how much damage the dragons are, not critical.
No, I don't think so.
It sent the Green Lady after. We've not seen Green Lady.
I think that's her behind the.
Yeah, but.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah,
she's the classic GW. Is it Ilarial model? The one with the giant 80s haircut.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's massive. She's the old scale GW. It's quite a nice model. It's older than me and Tom. Is the model.
Oh,
and,
it's not going to be older than me.
And Adam, actually.
Yeah, it's older than you three.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah, I've got quite a few models in my collection that are older than me. It's quite an imposing sight, Storm Dragon Horde, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it. If anyone doesn't know, it's the Storm Raptor model from Warhammer Hordes.
Very nice model.
Warhammer Hordes, yeah. With flying stags around it. It's quite cool. Me and Sam both got one and just thought, well, we don't have to do it we use it for, we just wanted the model. And then I was like, right, what do we do now? Well, it won't fit on a 50. And I'm not basing it anything bigger than that.
I think you'd be pushing it to get it on 50.
Yeah, you're pushing it on 100, to be honest. It's a big model. It fits quite nicely on a large cavalry horde base. so 50 would have been interesting. So going for Fallen now. There you are, yeah. So this is what he's waiting for, really, isn't it? Is, no cover shots on Fallen Hordes.
Yeah.
And you can see there, he's done like I said, so he's now moved the chariot up so that he can't nimble into both. Or he can't get in at all.
Yes, he can. Oh no, because the line of sight's blocked to the left.
Yeah. And you'll have to end in the position you started as well, so you can't cross over.
No,
it's height 3 as well, yeah.
If line of sight wasn't blocked, then
could potentially do it. Yeah. But again, he's height 3, so he's...
Yeah, it's line of sight blocked, which will be...
Yeah. Which is another wonderful thing about that little 90-point chariot, is height 3. More damage on dogs.
Was that no damage on the Fallen?
I'm not sure.
Are they pointing at the wrong things?
Oh no, it's pointing now, yeah, so... Unless that was chariot on dogs.
I don't know.
This horde's definitely going to fall anyway. I think the last horde did as well. I can go to a damage update in a minute.
I suppose it doesn't really matter what the damage is. It matters whether it's there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's 2 dice now. Yeah, so he's definitely shooting at the Fallen Horde. And breath.
Yeah.
Right,
so he sent the original horde onto the dogs, and now he's sending the.
And this is the scary thing. This is what we call the Paul Welsh almost quit a tournament rule, where as soon as he gets you out of cover, he just deletes a unit.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. It's not nice, and it happens. But there's a real chance now this Fallen Horde will just disappear in one go.
And that's that flank on in my eyes.
Because what do you do now? Really?
Because even if he charges something here on the left hand flank, that dragon's going to be in the rear the next turn.
Yeah, exactly. He's got this flank down now completely, which is huge because those Fallen Hordes are expensive, and you've effectively they're gone now. Yeah.
There we go.
That's huge. Yeah.
Sorry to say.
That's going to be a tough one to come back from, really.
Out of arc as well, didn't it? Oh, yeah, that's a toughie.
Yeah, because it's a really tricky one now here because from the look of it, I'm doing a map where you're going to does it. He set us up wonderfully because you can't get into it. You go into the Shamblers, you're not guaranteed to kill them. You've got a dragon in your rear. You go into the flank of the chariot, you probably will kill it, but then you've either got a dragon in your front and then Shamblers in the rear, or vice versa.
Not the opposite, yeah.
Or you back up and hide. And you probably can't back up out of range of the Shamblers now. And definitely not the chariot.
Definitely not the chariot. Probably the Shamblers. You'd be surprised how far you can back up with these things. But in this situation, I think I would be going for the Shamblers myself.
I think you've got to go for the Shamblers and turn, hoping you kill them.
Well, the other point is that if he does kill the Shamblers, which is not unreasonable to do.
Defense 5-14, so.
Mm-hmm. But if he goes for them, kills them, he's got an objective at the end of his turn. So that's
true,
objective point.
And you can turn and face the dragon.
Yeah.
So you're only having one in the front.
Yeah, I'd certainly be tempted by the.
Yeah.
Can they actually see them? Was that what they're looking at now?
Not sure, because they're on the hill. So they're height 3 though, because it's height 2 hills.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if there's an angle that Tom's perhaps missed. I don't think there is, but
no.
Unless he's on about sending the dogs in, because the dogs could do it.
Yeah, well, because they were just checking contesting there, weren't they? I think.
Yeah.
So I think Adam was looking to see, can I go in and grab that objective if they send the dogs in?
Yeah.
But obviously, if the Horde's contesting, he can't. Yeah, he just said there. You can't see him.
Yeah, he's going to the Shamblers.
You've got to. They've got a Pathfinder.
Yeah.
And
he's got the.
Is it a main chant just behind it?
I think so. I think that's the Scald, isn't it?
Not sure why I didn't do that last turn, to be honest. Send the dogs in, but.
Well, he probably wouldn't have lost.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, because it was a big. Yeah. It's a lot of damage coming from one of those Hordes. Is it into the Scalding as well? Oh. Clever. So, put them behind it.
He forces them back.
Yeah. So
I like this.
The rule is, if you can't back up an inch, your opponent has to. So, Tom is currently exactly 3 inches away from that token. So, when the combat ends and you can't back up, the Horde backs off an inch.
Yep.
And you claim it.
Yep. That's smart. I like that.
Sneaky. Give Padley a way to find a sneaky rule and he'll do it.
Yep.
So this is going to get dicey really now. That's the simple thing is that he has to kill the Shamblers or he's lost the Fallen.
Yeah. If he does kill the Shamblers though, then that's 2 objective points that he's got in the bag.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's really good for this scenario. It's really good for tournaments as well. If they're using our scoring system, that's... Do you know what? My flank's collapsing, but that's 2 tournament points for me.
Definitely.
And that's quite a big... That's quite a big thing, is that. Yeah. I like him using the skull that way. It's cheesy, but I like it.
You say it's cheesy, but then I suppose the alternative is a Bane chant, but actually he's guaranteed the point there.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to do anything and is guaranteed a point, whereas
Absolutely, yeah.
the Bane Chant still makes it...
Yeah.
You still got to roll for it, haven't you?
Absolutely the right thing.
I mean, the rule generally with wargaming is anything you can just make happen without rolling for it is a good thing. It's a very powerful thing.
Absolutely. But the right hand flank, what do you do here? So did that...
So the Dracons are out of Arc of the Dragon and out of range of the Mountain of Suns.
Yeah.
I believe he's backed up his Sea Guard out of the woods, so no one can see him. But the Dragon's now not facing that way, so you've lost that pincer. So you could move your Mountain of Suns up, to threaten that point with the... move them up, the nimble, turn them right, threaten those shamblers and go for that point. The Dragons will most likely charge, but it's a front charge. Again, you could probably make it hindered.
Yeah.
It's tricky. He's got to be careful with it. I like this game. It's a good... It's an interesting game, this one, because Adams is a real glass cannon army that he has to be very careful everything he does.
Yeah.
And he has been so far, to be honest. He's only let himself get shot out of cover once, but he paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a significant loss, that one, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think on that flank I'd be moving both units up. In fact, send the Mounted Suns up on to face the Shamblers and the Drakons. Send the other cavalry there. I'd send them to block the Sea Guard from potentially getting a flank or rear on the Mounted Suns, which could be a risk.
Yeah, there you go. Look, bring this guy right in. So out of Arc of the Dragon, out of charge range, showing all of a sudden brings him back into relevance, and that flank that was lost, actually all of a sudden is now, he says measured up there. Yeah, you might rear my fallen, but I've got an answer for it.
I'm going to get you in response.
And actually, if I had to kill him, I'm in a really strong position there, and you can't charge.
Yeah.
Without, facing this yourself.
So I'm just
Adam, get ready to do an illegal move. I know, I did it right. Quite a lot of people pivot through their own units without thinking.
Without realising it. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if I got any can't capture that one until the end. Well, actually, though, he's in a position where he can do something now. They've got Pathfinder. They've got a...
But the Drakons, can they see?
I suppose it depends what he now does with his...
No, they can't. That's good. Cool. Yeah. I was worried that the Drakons could see. That's what I was a bit worried about.
Only issue now, though, this leaves you out of Suns unsupported.
Yeah.
So you're now going to have a one-on-one with Dracons, potentially, on your own.
In which case, they're getting the first charge off. That's not going to work out well for you.
And they might be hindered, but they've got bro strength.
Yeah, that's definitely not working out well for you.
No. Are they in the woods or are they out?
I think if they were in the woods, the dragon would have gone on the flank.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they must be there. Must be out of the woods.
The question is, what do you do about the rest of it?
I mean, interesting scenario-wise, now it has swung towards to Adam.
Yeah.
So actually, he can start playing more conservatively.
Yeah.
You don't have to take your Mountain Suns up.
I'd be even tempted to start backing them off, because you can probably get out of the Draken's range, and if he backs them off, he can cover the objective markers on the right hand side of the board. Now there's the objective marker he's basically sat on top of where his hand is right now, and the one on the right hand side of the board. So that's two of the objective markers that he's currently stopping Tom from grabbing.
Yeah.
And if he moves his Mountain Suns backwards, they can basically threaten anything that goes for either of those objectives.
Yeah.
And potentially take them out in a single hit. Because he'll have a clean charge on anything that moves at them like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's just tricky though, because by doing that, you then lose 300 points worth of potential whacking power, don't you?
Yeah. But then if it's
the calculation, isn't it? Do you think you're going to need that? I'm guessing that's his inspiring. That's the Magus, isn't it? I believe. Which does the Magus have the inspiring talisman?
I think it does. It does.
Yeah. Not inspiring.
So it's going to keep the amount of stuns there by the look of it. Maybe shuffle back a little bit.
Nimble, so you can
back
up and turn.
A few people miss sometimes.
Mm.
There's not so near the Magus over there in the end. That's strange. I certainly would.
Depending
so there's the risk from shooting.
Yeah.
It's not much of a risk, but there is a risk.
No, but it's there. I'm not sure what you're shooting at here. Oh, chariot. Yeah, shooting off the chariot here would be big, actually. It's one less thing just to be annoying.
Yeah.
Not so straight to arc. That's lightning bolt, I'm guessing.
Quite a bit damaged by the look of it.
Mm.
That's piling up.
Mm.
What nerve is that chariot for 90 points? It's not much, is it?
No, it's lower than you think for an elf thing as well. 11-13.
11-13.
It's not bad, actually.
Well, it worked.
Yep.
Took it off.
It's gone.
That's good. That's a really good win for Adam there.
No, and that's a good target for a Varangur style of shooting.
Yeah.
You know, those little units actually ping off quite nicely. So this is attacks here. I'm guessing this is the Fallen.
Yep. This will be an important one.
Yeah.
That's a lot of misses he's taken off. It's about average, but he needs above average is the problem.
Falls, isn't it?
Oh, no. That's bad news.
Yeah. I mean, he's mitigated it a bit with the Chimera coming over.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, you'd probably take that trade. Unfortunately, I'm guessing he's not within 3 inches. It doesn't look it. Because obviously, he does out unit strength, the regiment.
That's true.
So if he is within 3, then he caps that point. What a surprise, he didn't break the horde. But he doesn't care, because he's got the point. Yeah, so yeah.
Yes!
Yoink.
Okay, Tom's next turn.
Yeah, here we are. So I'm guessing it wasn't within 3, or they didn't check anyway, so. Going back in.
That might have been because that Shambler horde that Shambler regiment is only 40 mil deep.
Yeah, it could potentially have been. They've not seen it or not jet it. Is that the Green Lady come over to do the exact same thing back? So everyone just sits still.
Can I go and check that? Because I'm really interested whether they were actually within 3. Is that allowed?
It's only a friendly satire, isn't it? Shall I go check for you?
Yeah.
Might not be allowed during the Masters, but...
No, it won't be allowed during the Masters, but for the sake of this, I'm really interested. So Adam just announced to Elliot that he's only got 8 minutes left on the clock. There's not much time left for how many units are left on the board. Was it just out?
Nope, it was in.
Oh dear. Oh, we were right.
Anyway, I miss it now.
Oh dear. So yeah, that should have been a claim there. That should be 2 points to Adam.
Adam's got 8 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah.
On turn 4.
That's not much.
So he's going to have a quick couple of games. But as he just said to me, he says that Dragon gets behind you. You have to slow everything down and think and react.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess the other thing is that Tom's just not in a position to claim any objectives at the moment.
No, he's not. I mean, you know, if Tom gets 2 turns unopposed because of the clock, he might be, but...
Well, the Forest Shamblers are going for this objective now, but Adam can potentially block him from claiming that.
Potentially, but Tom doesn't care if he dies. That's the nice thing about the scenario, is that he can run, grab it, and then not care that he gets hit by a Mana Sun charge next turn.
That's true.
It's not like, the usual police sort of scenarios where you've got to be alive.
You got to keep it to the end.
Yeah.
I suppose that's a really good advantage for taking first turn in this scenario, is that normally the advantages of going second don't really apply. It's only for 1 point.
Exactly. No. And there's also there's a possibility with the Shamblers there that he can shuffle down, get in range, but have his flank guarded by that building.
Yeah.
Buildings are a nightmare when it comes to it.
I can't believe they didn't measure that.
But again, it's easy to see when you sat above it like this. It's much easier to see some things and harder to see others.
Sort of thing that we'll be looking out for in the future.
Definitely.
And again, it's perhaps that mindset where we're used to scoring at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, you can score at the end of each of your turns. So out unit strengthening your opponent halfway through the game. That's really powerful.
And being down to 8 minutes on the clock has an effect on that. That if you've got another 20 minutes left, you might get your tape measure out and check all these sort of things. But when you're playing fast and you want to tap your clock, you're not going to check all these things. And if your mind's so focused on that clever trick you've done with your Scold, you're not necessarily watching that, are you? Because while we're sat here watching them, they're rolling dice, aren't they, and thinking and playing. So
yeah.
I'm guessing this is Hordes.
Yep.
Punching things. There's going to be some dead dogs. Yep. Well, dogs, you did your job.
A turn late, though.
Well, but they got the objective. So, was a turn late, but whether the Skull would have been there to do the job, that could have been the thinking.
Yeah.
He could actually have seen that one coming.
But then you had such a high risk of losing those dogs in the open.
You did, yeah. Well, I'm giving him more credit than he's due. Being nice.
I'm guessing that's a dragon in the rear.
It looks it. It's a lot of dice.
It's not going to end well.
No, if there's ever a quick way to kill a fallen horde fast, it'd be that. Yeah.
I suppose depending on the measurement, Adam may be able to send his king past the dragon into the forest shamblers
and cap the point. Yeah. It wouldn't be a bad shout.
What Tom's
is now checking. Yeah.
I'm guessing by that position that he's out regardless.
He's backing up. So maybe it was.
He's not going to out unit strength.
No. Right, it's going to be a quick turn now for him.
Yeah.
See, he is turning to look, but actually it's almost irrelevant now. Is like the fact that.
No, but his unit strength blocks.
Interesting. Of course, he was nimble. I'm thinking, how are they going to turn and face there? But
yeah.
Okay.
And his unit strength blocks.
Yeah, and his blocks his flank, so he can't be charged. See, nimble.
So he might have to expose his flank to.
The cavalry don't lose unit strength, do they? Just
no.
Large cav there, so yes, they stay unit strength too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not enough to win out versus the.
No, but it blocks it.
Yeah.
Which is huge at this point. I mean, you do now have a horde coming in to bear on that middle one.
Yeah.
So Adam's got one at the moment, does he?
Adam's got one.
Yeah. Tom currently has
should
none.
Should have had two.
Should have had two. Tom's currently got none. Is that right?
Correct.
But he's got one in the middle that he's got two hordes looking at.
So he looks like he's potentially got a cheeky flank on there. If there's a big enough gap. Oh, I meant to do that. Okay.
It's a friendly. We'll give him that.
Yep. Unless there was a straight mathematical reason, obviously, in a event game, I'd say sorry. I'm all for take-backs, but if it takes me pointing it out to you, then that's past the point of view.
Yeah,
correcting your mistake there.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ways we've sort of, people ask, do we practice for tournament games, and how do we do it? I think when we play here, quite often we will allow take backs, only for that situation of you plonker, look what you've done.
Yeah.
Knowing full well that in a tournament that'd never be taken back.
Yeah.
But that's how we learn, and we're quite good here with us for playing each other, going, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And we'll talk you through it, so if I was going to beat me now, I'd do this. And it's a really good way of learning, actually, because you don't really care who wins in these sort of games.
No.
And also, I'd rather play an opponent that,
You don't win because of a stupid mistake.
We've had games where units have just been deleted and we've gone, just say they weren't deleted.
Yeah.
We'll just re-rack that one. Because it's not fun.
No. And the other point to make is that if you've got your win by, or your opponent made a stupid mistake and allowed you to get a flank all the way down their flank, you've not learned anything from that game.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, potentially your opponent learns something and learns it a lot more than, I'll just nudge that.
Yeah. And in a tournament, you take it all day. But in games like this, where we've got an evening to play and you can only fit one game in, you might as well just say, no, I made a mistake there, I'm going to take it back.
So I put some damage on the dragons. Not enough, unfortunately. And now just disordering the horde. Scald going to disorder. Doesn't look like it did damage though.
It is dragon in the front, is it? Yeah. Chimera into dragon, yeah. Although Padley's modelled him as a dragon just to annoy all the the Varangur fluff.
Not enough to break.
Nah, it shouldn't be. No, at the front there.
No, very unlikely. So this will be Tom's turn 6, I believe. Tom went first.
It could be 5. And then they said it was turn 4 the other day.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll trust them to end it when it ends. Okay. So Tom's 5. So potentially three turns. That's a lot of time to capture objectives.
Yeah. It's worth saying, by the way, that we've sort of made the assumption, we've been very kindly given the scenario from the Clash Kings 19 pack. We are assuming that a lot of the rules have stayed the same.
Yes.
So things like 7th turn, things like must be within 3 inches of objective markers, must be 12 inches apart, etc., etc. Yeah. We think that's a pretty safe bet. But don't blame us if we're wrong.
we only got the scenario text, we didn't get anything else. So Tom's grabbing that objective now.
So that puts them on 1-1, but with Tom having much more possibility of grabbing the...
Well, Tom's going to grab that one next.
Yeah.
Going to grab the one on the left-hand flank next turn, isn't he?
Yeah. It'd be a lot more interesting if he had grabbed that one he could have done.
Yeah. I have to say, this isn't looking good for Adam.
No. It was, as he said from the start, it was going to be an uphill slog. The fact that Tom can, in turn 5, just go bump and start capping these points is a real strength of his list.
But in this scenario, it doesn't have to be turn 5. It can be any turn that it's advantageous for him.
But he can do it when, as I sort of said, he's going to take a lot of turns conservatively, chipping things down. And you've played so many games against Tom where you think you've got the upper hand, and you turn like, oh, bugger.
Things just start melting away.
Yeah, he just knew exactly what he was doing. Interestingly, he's charged the Mountain Sons. There's no reason not to in that situation, really.
Well, it locks them down at that point, and then the...
Well, the Dragons are there, yeah. So you've got one turn to do it with just your crushing because you lost your Thunderous.
Yeah. So that's going to be tricky.
Yeah. It's all points at the end of the day now, isn't it? Tom's going to get one turn to kill them.
Yep.
To overrun, potentially 2. No, the hunters. Not sure what shot him because they were shot to death with them.
I think that was the Horde that shot them.
Yeah.
Because he failed to sword them with the Scald. Nerve test on something?
One day those hunters will survive a game. One day. See the centaurs into those. Combat with them, guessing, yeah.
Sea Guard into the Centaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at that point, if Tom does this, then he's getting the centre objective, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And this is another lovely thing about that nimble horde, is that you can't stop it.
Yeah.
And the amount of reach it's got with the 12-inch move and then a pivot is unbelievable to try and cap objectives. It can literally just blast forward and pull a handbrake turn, and it can just grab tokens from across the board where you were doing. It's
an extra 2 inches worth of
speed, which is a lot when when you're already going 12 inches forward.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
And again, it's about getting on the flank, isn't it? He uses his horde in the centre, but if he can shoot forward out of an arc and pivot to face you.
Oh, the Chimera.
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah.
Sorry to say, Adam.
Well, that's his old fast.
Yeah.
Well, Adam's got another turn.
Yeah, come on, Adam. Come on, Adam.
He's got about 4 minutes left.
We believe in you.
Well, he's taking his Maidus out of range. Give him that. I mean, yeah, what do you do? You countercharge with the amount of suns you try and waver the Dracons. I mean, I'm not sure what damage the Dracons are on. There's been a green lady sat behind them for a while, so I'm going to guess not a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
no, the green lady's in the middle, isn't she?
Yeah, but she was over the back there, wasn't she?
Only for one turn, though.
So potentially, could have a bit of damage on them.
They've got a blue dice next to them.
Yeah.
Can't see what's on that. 2. I can see that it's got 2 on it.
Hello, you can join the stream. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, you're knackered now. I mean, tournament-wise here, that you're in damage limitation.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, as you were saying...
How do you limit your damage?
Well, that's what I mean. You kill what you can.
Yeah.
Using the Northern Kings scoring pack, we only use positive scoring for what you killed. Mm-hmm. We don't take into account what you've lost. So actually, this is the point where you just...
a few good hits there from the Mage Conclave, but that doesn't look like a good nerve roll. No. Yeah, sorry, so...
Yeah, so you try and kill what you can in this situation, don't you, really? I mean, it's a shame he lost his Chimera. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, if that held out another turn... So the dragon took it out in 1 hit?
2. No, I don't know.
No, 1 hit.
It must have already had damage on it, then.
I don't know where from.
Somewhere. I don't know, sure.
I think it did.
Ooh, well, yeah. Let's kill them.
Okay, can he get out of arc of the...
I don't know, he's got his rear facing to him, so he's...
That's going to be a big move to get out of...
I'd just turn around, I think.
You're going to be talking a good... Yeah,
don't risk it, yeah, just spin.
No, you can't do it, Adam. You're just going to have to... I don't think so, Adam.
I don't think mathematically you could possibly do that. I think you just go...
Oh. Stand corrected.
Well...
Maybe. Just hear loud exclamations from Tom.
Good. Can you do that? I don't think you can do that. This way you get one of those, well, I've won the game. You know what, have it moments.
Yeah. So, was that for a turn 7?
I think it might have been, yeah. Yeah, I'll have that.
So actually, if the game had ended there, if that was for turn 7, which I don't think it was.
No, I'm not sure it was. No, this is 6.
Yeah, I thought so. If that was for turn 7, that would actually been a draw.
Yeah.
Well, a win if he'd have picked up the
Yeah.
token when he could have. So often you think, can we just end the game here?
Yeah.
Can we just... I know it's not going to last any longer than this. Can we just end it now?
I almost really don't like it where you turn 3 or 4, you get like a ridiculously good roll and delete a unit, and then you spend the whole game, right, how can I mess this up?
Yep.
I'm going to do something at some point. This has gone too well. I can mess this up somehow, I know it. I'd almost rather be behind right up until the end.
Yeah.
Because everyone loves an underdog. Yeah, there's not much to say here, is there really? It's,
No.
Yeah, taps him there. I love his ambition, but there's no way you can block that charge.
I don't know what he intends to do next time.
Well, actually, interestingly, what he has done there is stop the overrun. That's what he's doing there.
Ah, I see.
So if he just face backwards, the overrun takes you and caps the point, whereas this way, the overrun's going to send you running past it.
Though potentially, if he's... No, because it'd be more than 90 degree turn, that. I was thinking whether he would be able to do a double nimble move at 8 inches. He might just be able to get within 3 inches of that objective on the right, but no, he wouldn't have enough pivot to get clear of the building, I don't think.
Got to survive first. The
It's not outside the realm of possibility, but it's not very likely.
Yeah. I mean, he might die. Draken's got bro strength, so it's 3s and 2s with a leap.
Yeah.
It's effectively 15 damage.
Yeah, but you'd be hoping for a double 1 or something at that point.
Tactically decided for a double 1.
Yeah. Well, no, if you know you're going to lose a unit, then put it in a position where if the double 1 does come up, then...
You're not wrong, actually, yeah. There are times where you just give him your rear, because why not? Because you're going to lose him in the front. Let's put yourself in a better position.
Yeah. You know, if like you say, the Drakens are going in, nothing you can do to stop that. They're potentially going to...
Shooting at the Majors here. So the Major Conclave, sorry.
Yeah.
Out of spite.
You know, if the Drakens in the front need average dice to break...
Yeah, but why not give them your rear? If you get it, then you can go capture a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, though, when your clock's low, you don't think like that, do you?
No.
You know, you're playing fast. Yeah, you got the Major Conclave, good.
Yeah.
It's won the moral victory. And the actual victory.
Yeah, the actual victory.
But it's also won the moral victory. And that's the important thing. We wouldn't have counted if he'd not got the Major Conclave.
So in terms of casualties, what has Tom actually lost?
This is going to be interesting, yeah.
Oh,
he's dropped a few. These are twos, though. I dropped a few more. Let's give it like 14 damage into it. 12 damage. It's a... Yeah.
Double 1.
Double 1.
That's what I was on about. What did I say?
Yeah, no, you're right. We just heard the shout of double 1 come from 2 rooms across.
So you know how Adam's saying that you should the double 1 rule should be removed. Should we ask him right this second?
Yeah. He's looking though. I reckon he can do it. Yeah, he can do it. Look.
Yeah.
No reason why not. Just dead powers out of the way.
Yeah. Grabs the objective. So yeah, in our pack that would be an extra.
Yeah, talent.
Extra talent point. You'd absolutely do that.
That's where Tom's going to come ruin his fun by using the rules.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure he has the angle on that.
I think you're right. He's only got to be with it. Yeah, he can do it. Yeah, Tom's pointed out the rules. It's a nice idea, but here are the rules.
I can't remember how the Forest Handlers were positioned. It's potentially could have done it at one of his funny angles. Yeah. That's not quite a 90-degree angle, but you can still actually...
This is the thing I was saying earlier, that nimble is excellent, but it's not everything.
No, it's not.
You know, it's not the old fantasy thingy rules.
Yeah.
Fast cav rules that could just go wherever they wanted.
Yeah. But I suppose in this scenario, what I was saying about playing for the double 1 and stuff, if it was so... Okay, so the Drakens in the front... If he'd have rolled under average, then he could have potentially not killed the not killed the guys. But if it was certain that the dragons were going to kill the Mounted Sons, except for a double one, then I absolutely would have
Kill
faced...
the dragons?
Well, there we go.
Yeah. I mean, they're already taking damage. But
and do you know what?
Turn, because you might have a 7.
He didn't turn. He didn't turn.
Well, actually, he's got nimble, hasn't he? So... Oh, yeah, here we go. Now he's turned.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he'd have grabbed that objective, this could be a draw at this point.
Could. I mean, yeah, let's be honest. You've got a dragon coming over for breath.
Yeah,
He's dead.
And,
it needs another,
and the rest of the shooting as well.
It needs another double one.
Yeah, it needs another double
Yeah,
one.
strange things have happened.
I think we will hear the yell if that's the case.
So as it stands at the minute, Tom has captured 2.
2 of his
plus
raise objectives.
Plus will have the middle.
And he will have the middle.
Adam's captured
1, but he should have 2.
Yeah. Yeah, so could have pushed the draw if he'd have got that.
Yeah.
I mean, actually no, because it wouldn't have mattered if he'd have died afterwards. Yeah. He should have just turned around and faced it otherwise, shouldn't he?
No, it would be a loss now.
Tom's got 3.
And Adam would have 2.
But if it had been faced the other way, like you were saying, got the double one, and somehow managed to capture that point on the top right,
yeah,
then it would have been a draw. It would have been a fluky situation of lots of flukes. Thomas basically deserved the win.
Yeah.
There's no.
They'd definitely be playing for luck.
Yeah. Annoyingly, this is why Tom is the UK number 1.
Yeah. It's not a surprise when you see how he plays.
No. Not even his army list. He can
pick
anything
that's
up.
The thing. This is his fluffy list.
He is, because I've made him use my armies before just to find out.
Has he double wand it? Oh.
No. Just toying with him now.
And there we go. So that was an interesting game to watch.
It was a good game to watch that. I mean, it shows, doesn't it, the fragility of Varangur. Actually, they're really, really punchy, but that it swings very quickly with things they lose. You tend to find when you talk to Adam after his tournament games, it is either he's tabled them or he's got tabled. There's very little in between. It's quite rare that he has close games, and I think he quite enjoys that. You watch him playing; he's excellent with his positioning and his tricks.
Like his scald behind the docks.
Yeah, and things like that. I mean, he used to play Lizardmen with the Skink Cloud in Warhammer, which was another thing of just knowing the rules very well. Those little tricks of fleeing and jumping and doing this and shouting and going mad with them. But it's a very clever way to play. Kings of War is a movement game.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, so if you can get that down, you're doing well. This is the usual. If only I'd done this.
If only he'd grabbed that objective.
If only I'd grabbed. Well, I still don't think he saw that one. I still don't think he realised when I went in with a tape measure.
No.
Put it down. So yeah. So obviously we want feedback. We want to know what we've inevitably done wrong. Whether it's interesting, whether you want us to talk about the game more, the lists more, the players more. What will be interesting, of course, when we're doing actual tournament streaming is we won't know the players quite as well. And we won't know the lists, which is probably better for us, really.
We won't know how they play.
No, which is
a big thing.
I think actually we're better for us because, stupidly, I kind of assume that everyone knows what I know. So if I'm going through, I know Tom plays very well.
Yeah.
And it'd be great to see all the variety of Masters. There's going to be a great set of players there this year. With a real variety of armies and styles to watch. But let us know what you think of the overlay. I mean, I really like it. We're going to try and keep up with it as we go along. We're not going to try and keep track of scoring because we know it's not always very easy to see with the overhead of what's going on. And we're going to have people running back and forth and taking notes as we go. Especially with scenarios like this where people score as you go along. It's not always easy to tell. You can't look at a glance where you're at. And sorry for the technical difficulties.
It's a bit frustrating with the stream because we were really ready to go with it, and unfortunately the technical gremlins crept in, as they have done throughout the recording as well. But it's first attempt at putting together some sort of recording.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that I'm really happy with is just our overhead shot. You'd be surprised how difficult it is to get an overhead shot like that.
Especially with Nick's height. Should have seen Nick trying to set it up. It was brilliant.
It was not brilliant.
3 members of the Northern Kings are over 6 foot, and we let Nick try and do it. It was great.
Fuckers.
I got it.
I hate you.
Yeah. So anyway, let us know if there's anything you want to see on the overlays. If there's anything you want to see pre-game. We were hoping to do a lot more of a pre-game talk about the list and the scenario, but obviously time got away. It is a school night. So when we sort of failed trying to stream, we had to just sort of do it while they were deploying. Let us know if there's anything you couldn't see particular on the stream. One thing I've already thought about doing is if we can make up waiver markers, things like that are big, that we can ask the players to use. Obviously, we're going to ask players to point a lot more. We sort of realised that and ran in halfway through and just said, "Can you please point at what you're doing?" We're hoping, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, to have a dice cam. Whether that'll be for everything or just for nerve rolls, because obviously we have to respect that the players are on the clock. And if they don't want to roll in it, they don't have to roll in it. That's totally up to them. But yeah, give us ideas of what you want to see on a stream, really. Just to do a few obvious plugs, because you've all logged off by now, and I should have done these earlier. We have a Northern Kings event on, not that one, that's my work list. I've lost it. Nick, when have we got the Northern Kings event?
I don't know. Where did you put your Northern Kings event?
Well, when do we have it?
12th of December?
9th of December.
9th of December, I should know that.
9th of December, Art of War, Outpost in Sheffield. We've got 16 players signed up so far. We can go as high as 24. So, come on down. That's 2,000 points, 4 games. 4 games.
4 games.
And then the big one you've all got to come to, is a Tale of Three Kingdoms on the 1st and 2nd of June 2019. That's at Element Games. That's the UK's first team event. So it's teams of up to 3 people. Each person will play 5 games of 2,000 points. So you're not playing as a team together. I don't know if people have asked me about that. The teams will be matched together, and then there's a system set up where you decide between you who plays who within that team. But obviously that'll be explained fully in the pack, and it's nice and simple, and we even got an instructional video of how it all works. So find 2 friends, get them together. There's no restrictions on who can play with who. There's no good versus evil alignment or anything like that. It's just 3 lists that can be anything you want. There can be any duplication within it. And the focus is going to be really on fun for that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, because it's a team event, it's not ranked. There's going to be a huge wraparound thing for it. So we've hired out a function room above a pub just down the road. We're putting on a hot buffet for you. We're hopefully having live music. We're going to do a pub quiz. We had the idea before Mansit did it. We want to make a full, proper weekend of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also are hoping that it will be an excellent month for some international players to come and join us, because we've got 3 warm meals with us. We're doing your lunch on both days. Hello. The players here look looking sad.
Someone's looking smug and someone's not.
We've got lunch on both days and your evening meal sorted. It's 5 minutes from Manchester International Airport and loads of good cheap hotels. So come along if anybody's still watching the stream. They've all lots at this point, so I'm plugging to nobody here.
Well, given that we're not streaming,
I know, but everyone turns off at this point because the game's over. No one watches the end, do they?
Oh, good.
Have you any thoughts on the game, guys?
You might have to stand a bit closer.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no,
did you enjoy beating Padley down?
I don't think Padley was as happy as it.
It was close. It was closer than it looked right until it won.
Yeah.
Well, it was a turn 2 with my dragon going over.
Turn 1.
Well,
not being able to do 1 damage to a dragon.
Oh yeah.
With a centaur chief and a beast.
Yeah, we saw that.
And they've both got good odds of doing at least 1 or 2 damage.
Well, the centaur chief does.
Well, the beast pack alone should do 1 damage.
The centaur chief should usually do 1.
Well, the beast packs.
Yeah. So basically, Padley's blaming his dice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't Padley's fault; it was his dice fault.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we could probably leave it there.
Cool. So thanks very much for watching, guys.
Thank you.